You're actually sitting in a 1960s diner that was segregated, and the window to the back is the window that, as a child, I had to walk around the outside of the building to be served from. So yes, racially, we've come a long way.
This is historic Brown Chapel AME Church. They're in the process now of remodeling the church, and they just put those up like 2 weeks ago.
Traces of civil rights history and the ongoing process of racial healing are everywhere in Selma. Touring its history is so powerful because those who lived it are still here.
This would be me at age 15.
Oh my gosh, that's you.
These are two of my classmates. This would be Gloria and this would be Betty. The signs say, "Let our parents vote." We made our own poster signs, and this one says, "We fought for the right to vote."
It's people like Diane and what happened here in Selma that were the catalyst for the Voting Rights Act of 1965 to be signed into law.
It's all of us who must overcome the crippling legacy of bigotry and injustice. And we shall overcome.
On March 7, 1965, 600 peaceful marchers set out on a 54-mile walk from Selma to Montgomery, calling for equal voting rights. They crossed the bridge named after a known Ku Klux Klan leader. A line of white police officers were waiting on the other side, warning them to disperse. Less than 2 minutes later, the marchers were assaulted with clubs, bullwhips, and tear gas. The images caused national outrage, including a photo of 25-year-old future U.S. Congressman John Lewis, who suffered a skull fracture. Did you experience any violence yourself?
The violence that my brother and I almost encountered was after we were running. One of the possemen ran behind us on horseback and ran us up the steps of Brown Chapel AME Church. We came very close to being struck with his billy club. My brother was 13 at the time and I 15. We held hands so that we wouldn't separate or possibly fall. Someone running behind you on horseback swinging a billy club is very scary.
When you look at this bridge, what does this represent to you?
I did not cross the bridge on Bloody Sunday. I attempted. But each time I walk this bridge with the tourists, my adrenaline flows because I think of the turmoil that our foot soldiers faced. I share with my tourists that we have the pleasure of crossing this bridge without violence now. It's very meaningful to know that you can do this now without the fear of being attacked.
It's been 50 plus years since those marches took place. What do you think racial healing needs or looks like in Selma?
Well, going back looking, I can say that things are a lot different, meaning progress has been made. But if I was to put it in a capsule, I'd say there's still a lot of healing to be done. But we've come a long way, but the struggle still continues.
The bridge draws people from all over the world to Selma, but most just stop for a photo op, leaving the much-needed money that tourists spend on food, hotels, shops, to the bigger neighboring cities, Montgomery and Birmingham. But there's a new, united effort to change that through community-based solutions.
Thank you, ma'am. There's a pen from Greenland, and there's a pen from near Argentina, and then New Zealand, and even government officials in Selma was actually surprised. They had no idea of the data that's contained on this map of people coming into Selma.
And I heard you participate in tourism roundtables. Can you tell me about those?
Yeah, that's a monthly meeting that we have, and we bring together businesses and people from every aspect of the community. So you have the faith-based, you have the retail, you have education, finance. So we just try to bring everybody to the table because it's about all of us having a seat, all of us having input.
A large part of what we do in making sure that we are able to transform our community is to make sure that equity is applied.
And how has the roundtables contributed to the success of your coffee shop?
It's been very helpful. If there's an event that might be going on, if there may be a couple of tour buses that's coming that I didn't know about, we've become known for providing box lunches to the tour buses because they come to Selma a lot of times. They don't have a chance to get off the bus and sit down and eat. So they'll call and say, hey, can you prepare me 50 box lunches? We try to put all the ideas, all the challenges, everything on the table, and then find out who at the table can meet those needs and everybody support everybody.
Every year, famous faces walk Selma's streets for the annual Jubilee.
In 2015, we celebrated the 50th reenactment of Bloody Sunday, and over 300,000 people came to Selma to participate in that event. And I could hardly maneuver getting down Broad Street. And I was like, I gotta get to my coffee shop, But there were just people everywhere. And we just had to, at certain points of the day, we just had to shut the door and just go to the back and take a break. We were open like nonstop for 3 days because these people came to Selma. And so we had to be here to serve them, give them a place to use the restroom, give them a place to sit down. So it was massive. It was massive.
And you're getting emotional. Why is that?
It's because I care and because I love Selma. And I know we have so much to offer and we've done so much for the world. And I finally feel like we're about to cash in on our return.
Do you think enough attention, though, is really being placed on the challenges or the things that Selma needs?
No, I think that we as a city can do a better job of that. There are so many celebrities and high-profile people that come to Selma, but I think we miss the opportunity to sit with them to say, hey, here's what we need, what can you help with?
And what does Selma need?
We need housing, we need jobs, we need improvement in education. We need people to invest in us, we need people to believe in us.
What's it been like for you to grow up in downtown Selma?
I've seen Selma go from a booming city with an Air Force base that trained pilots from all over the world to seeing it close and a big economic downturn. And now we can see the silver lining and things are about to pick up here again.
And I'm sure that you've witnessed the racial segregation that occurred, but have you noticed any type of dynamic or shift in the relationship between Black and white people over the years? And do you feel like there's more that needs to be done in regards to racial healing?
Yes, you're actually sitting in a 1960s diner that was segregated. And the window to the back is the window that, as a child, I had to walk around the outside of the building to be served from. So yes, racially, we've come a long way. I've lived through the segregation and I've seen a lot of healing and a lot of coming together. I would be remiss to say that there's not more that, we can do on both sides of the spectrum. As you sit around today, there were just as many probably white patrons that visited my coffee shop as there were African Americans. So I can say that I feel like I've created this one space of unity and community where across all classes, all races, all gender, that people come and gather and see this light of hope and take it back out into their own communities, into their own families, into their own circles and homes, and spread it.
Coming up next, was Selma everything that you expected?
I don't know what I expected, but I am sort of disappointed in what I believe to be the home of civil rights. And what I'm seeing is something that is static. I almost felt like I was back in that time, like what's changed?
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.